Well, guys, we just
If you say anything other than that was the best Star Wars movie, I'll murder you on YouTube. If you say anything other than that, I will kill you in front of all these maybe 200 people that we hope watch this video. That was amazing. That was the best. Who directed? Rian Johnson directed The Last Skywalker? Hey, Rian Johnson, go yourself. You wasted our time, you arrogant, selfish piece of J.J. Abrams should have had control all 3 movies. That last movie was garbage and a waste of time. You took 2+ hours to say nothing, and you should be embarrassed. You should be more embarrassed than George Lucas should be for making Greedo shoot first. I said it. That movie was amazing. JJ fixed everything, did the best he possibly could, and gave us the most Star Wars movie ever. It was incredible. Matt, I swear to God, Matt.
So we just got out of seeing the Star Wars film.
Running a little hot.
Rise of Palpatine?
Rise of Scott. Spoilers, by the way.
Spoilers.
Just say things. Just say what you're going to say. Just say what you're going to say. Matt, say words.
I'll tell you the things that I liked. How about that? Start there.
Okay.
Yeah. Where's my phone? I wrote stuff down. Things that I liked, if I can remember.
Listen. Everyone was together for a majority of the movie. Finally, we got to see them like cohesively as a unit, like Han and Luke and Leia and Lando, and it was awesome. And Poe and Finn were great together, and that was amazing. And Rey's relationship with them was awesome.
I'm gonna push back a little bit. Poe and Finn's relationship, I'll be honest with you, the dynamic between the team was a little too bickery for me. It just argued too much. And there was a lot of relationship and a lot of dynamic there that I think came from shooting the film, not from character dynamic in writing. Because in the last movie, it just wasn't there. It was flat.
Because Rian Johnson.
Yeah. And I think...
is great. He should not have touched a Star Wars movie.
Never. Right. If J.J. Abrams did 7, 8, 9, then the dynamic between the characters would have been a lot more tight.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah.
And a lot more fluid. Sure. In this movie, it was just kind of out of nowhere.
I know it would have been better because this was the best Star Wars movie we've ever gotten.
It's hard for me to separate it as its own film. The thing is that these 3 movies are like it's like a
trilogy.
Like the bread is two things that want to be something, and the inside is this thing that's like, I'm not gonna be the thing that you want to be.
Yeah, well, didn't Rian Johnson say he's not there to follow a script or something? Like he was quoted as saying something along the lines of like, I'm gonna make the movie I want to make.
He wanted to make
the movie. And for those reasons, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out of the Rian Johnson business.
Yeah, it's very
You took a stand in the middle of a trilogy in one of the most storied and loved franchises ever.
Very selfish.
And said screw you to the fans and did what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And wasted all of our time.
Yeah, let's just get into some of that stuff because here's the thing. I don't know if I liked this movie a lot or if I am going to have problems with it. I need to sit on it a while longer.
Okay, this is the best Star Wars movie.
Hang on. The Luke Force Ghost. He basically said everything that I told you when I was alive is false. It's a little bit of pulling the veil away from the creation of the films. It's like Rian Johnson had Luke do all this and say all this, and J.J. Abrams was like, actually, he doesn't feel that way, and this is how he's going to feel about it.
Nah.
No, you don't think that way?
Fine.
You don't think that way?
No, it was fine.
No, I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm making an observation because
About the continuity.
yes, as a trilogy.
Let's just talk about this movie.
It's hard to.
Nah, this was the best movie. This was the best Star Wars movie. We got.
You think this is the best one?
We got a bunch of stuff about the
like
Sith.
actually the best one.
We got nonstop action. We got the most just awesome badass trio we ever had. Like all action, and it made sense because Luke was a farm boy pulled from Han was a smuggler, not a soldier. We had a spy pilot, an ex-stormtrooper, and like the most powerful Jedi maybe that we've ever seen in the movies, at least.
Yeah, 'cause she works outside of the Force.
And it was awesome. The action was there, but it didn't feel forced. The relationships were there. We had the throwbacks. Chewie finally got his medal.
Yeah.
Like everything was done.
There was a lot of throwbacks, a lot of homages, a lot of set design that was like paying homage to the original trilogy.
And it was done so well. 10 out of 10. All of it. What did it score? All of them. It scored all of the everything.
How did you feel about Rey becoming a Palpatine?
Loved it.
Really?
Yep.
I have a theory. I think in the first one, J.J. Abrams was writing it so that she's going to be a Skywalker.
Maybe.
Just go with me here.
Okay.
Rian Johnson
screwed everything up.
Made it completely clear that he didn't want it to be her to be a Skywalker. So by the end of the film, it's like pretty obvious she can't be a Skywalker. Luke made it pretty clear. In this movie, he's like, all right, well, she has to be someone special. Palpatine. Okay. By the end of the film, it's like, all right, I couldn't make her real Skywalker, so I'm going to make her a sort of an adopted daughter to the Skywalkers.
So I loved how the Rise of Skywalker had this like double entendre in that we saw the redemption of Kylo Ren.
Yes.
And we saw Rey go past, Luke says, there's things that are thicker than blood or whatever he said. Mm-hmm. And that she got to choose her own destiny. And they didn't go total like gray, but we saw so much of like the Force between Kylo and Rey. And the being able to be in two places at once and
I liked that.
Move things to the Force.
We saw a little bit of it in the last movie.
We finally got to see someone do a saber throw like we've done in all the games and loved so much.
That was cool. So what I think is that initially J.J. Abrams wanted her to be a Skywalker, and he couldn't make that happen now because of the last movie. And I'm actually that's one thing that I think I can take away from the last movie that I'm like, all right, maybe I'll go with you there. But a Palpatine?
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Love it. Awesome. Awesome. It was like between her and Kylo, like they were a diadem, they were this
I love that
intersection of the most powerful Sith bloodline and the most powerful Jedi bloodline.
Who's his son?
Doesn't matter.
And why? How? Who would have ever with that?
He was young ones. Pre-senator days. Pre-senator days. Who knows how old Palpatine is?
Exactly. He's pretty old.
Right. So, whatever.
Yeah, so it would have had to have been when he was old.
It's fine.
Whatever. What I thought was cool is he's cooking Snokes. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
In the background?
Well,
he is making Snokes.
If you read the comics, there was always that story arc where Luke finds the Emperor passing his life force into clone bodies and stuff like that. So they went with that. So a little nod to the EU that although they're not beholden to it anymore, they still took from it, which I liked, and that Palpatine could be in whoever he wanted to and stuff like that was great.
Yeah, but I thought it was really cool that he was like, you actually saw like a couple Snokes in a bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Like in a big tube.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was amazing. That was a really cool addition.
You know what else was really awesome? The entire freaking movie.
All right, Ralph. Got it. You loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I was so afraid I wasn't gonna like it. I was like, they're gonna try to rush and do all this stuff.
They did rush.
They were moving quick, especially in the
wasn't
beginning.
Necessarily a
they
bad
were cruising.
thing.
Was not a bad thing. They did it perfectly.
They were pretty clear with their beats too.
Yep.
It felt paced well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I want J.J. Abrams to direct every movie that ever comes out from now until I'm dead. I'll take all the lens flare with it too. I'm cool with that. Lens flare my eyes out the back of my skull as long as J.J. Abrams gets to direct every movie ever. What? What were you thinking?
I'm kind of annoyed that Ben died, because having a spin-off series with Rey and Ben, I would love that.
I know.
That would be so delightful.
It was so good.
Their energy between them, the two actors, the dynamic between the two actors, I gotta give them credit.
Oh, God bless you both.
Gotta give them credit. They rock every scene that they're in together.
It's such a complicated relationship, but yet
she's
they know
got
each other
energy and chemistry with everyone that she's on screen with.
She is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. And whenever, because I'm always thinking like just Ren and Rey they're always distant in the movies. Mm-hmm. Like there's always this chasm between them, and whenever that chasm comes right together with the Force, it's like whoa, chilling.
It's
like
so
whoa,
intense.
You guys are like really making this work.
So intense.
Yeah.
Man, and the scene editing when they would go from where they are to where she was to where he was.
Very cool.
Oh. Uh-huh. And just J.J. Abrams, you're never gonna watch this. That's fine. I love you so much.
He did it for this reason.
I would donate any organ or body part you ever needed. Chop it right off my body. You can have it forever. And the things he chose to pay homage to, like for him to be like, Chewie needs to get his medal.
Yeah.
Like, oh man. Yeah. The Force tug of war contest.
Yeah.
Like, man, imagine.
You know, when she zapped it, I didn't even think
Palpatine?
I thought about him, but I didn't think like she was I thought, whoa, she's something. But I didn't even think he would have a granddaughter.
Yeah, I've always been thinking that came out of left field for me. I never would have guessed it. I was thinking like maybe she was a Kenobi. I was thinking stuff like that. I thought they were gonna go the gray route, and so when she did the lightning, I was like, oh, they're gonna she's the dark that chose the light, and he's the light that chose the dark, and they're gonna do like the whole gray thing, gray Jedi, gray Knight. And they didn't. And man, Adam Driver, like his physicality, like his acting, like
he's a beast.
Oh,
he's so good,
man.
But again, it's like it's such a testament to those two, because she's got such great energy with her crew, and then when he comes on the screen, it's like an immediate, just like marriage of chemistry.
Yeah,
it's incredible. So I will say, when they kissed, for me it was earned.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
that was like, that was out of left field. No.
Yeah.
No.
For Olivia,
if you don't
weird.
think that this was the best Star Wars movie, I don't know what to tell you. We couldn't have gotten a better ending to this trilogy.
Yes, we could have. If Rian Johnson didn't direct the last
we can't change the past, and J.J. Abrams saved the trilogy for me. Because after Last Jedi, I was bummed. I said in one of our previous videos that I was like, I feel like they wasted a lot of time. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm 2 movies in, and I'm like, now what?
Yeah.
Like what? Like I'm going to get to the end of this movie and being like, finally? Yeah. But like this movie was so good, it saved the whole trilogy for me. Even though The Last Jedi is a snoozer and a bummer.
So
like
your best case scenario actually happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, best case scenario is they might kind of rush. They're going to try to cram a lot in, but we're going to get all the answers you wanted. But they did that in just the best way possible. Like, I couldn't have imagined they could have crammed so much into this movie, but still have it feel paced, still have it feel natural. Like, they made up for a wasted middle movie without it feeling like they were making up for a wasted middle movie.
Yeah.
And not completely wasted. There were things I like, sure, about The Last Jedi.
I liked, but I hated everything about the Luke scene. Everything.
Yeah, it was
I hated everything about the Luke scene. Yeah. It was such a colossal disappointment, and this movie makes me hate it more.
And when she called Leia Master,
yeah,
I was like, oh man, like we always knew, like, you know, of course she's a Skywalker, like, but then like seeing the early training between Luke and Leia, like we always knew probably would have happened, and in some of the books and comics happened, like, man, it was so good, and Harrison Ford popped back in.
Oh, that was...
And Billy D. Williams was back in.
That Harrison Ford cameo was everything.
It was so good. The fight scenes were incredible.
Yeah. I honestly can't wait to watch all of these back to back.
Yeah.
Just to get a gauge on how the flow is. But it's over.
Yeah. I guess so. For now.
I mean, this is the end of the Skywalker saga. But I guess the Palpatine saga could carry on.
Well, she's a Skywalker now.
Which she was originally probably supposed to be.
Maybe. Maybe. This made more sense. She's some lost Skywalker child. Like Luke had some fling that we never heard about. And just like, yeah.
No, the way that I thought about it was perhaps Luke married and something happened where he ended up separating from Rey, and he's been this whole time trying to get back to her. Like, that's what I thought they were going to do in The Last Jedi. I thought, like, that was the whole point, was he was attempting to get back to her, and there was something that was impeding that. Like, she was his daughter, his only child, and he would do nothing to stop to get back to her.
That could have been.
It would have been a much more sentimental story.
Yeah. Kylo Ren, as this trilogy's Vader, was treated better than...
Think better than Vader?
Than Anakin was. When you look at the whole Vader story from 1 through 6.
Okay.
If you look at Vader and Anakin as a whole, 1 through 6.
I don't think so.
Ben's story is so much better. Because the prequels like made it a little like obviously prequels, whatever.
Right.
But man, he's so good.
I'll put it this way. They're two totally separate characters with two totally separate vibes. Vader is a presence. He's a cloud. Yeah. He can like go through pores. Like he's so mystical. Mm-hmm. Ren is more like blunt object, like
physical,
just physical,
like where Vader would like choke someone with the finger move.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, Kylo's just like, you're on the ceiling, and I'm not even going to use my hands. Yeah. I'm going to scold everyone while I ceiling murder you.
Ren had more conflict in himself.
Yeah, true.
Whereas Vader was succumb to the dark side.
Yeah.
And he was like fully evil. He became fully beholden to the dark side.
Yeah.
And then took a turn. Which wasn't until later.
Right.
And so you didn't see that duality that you see in Ren.
That is a fair point.
You know?
And that's the whole thing with this is both Ben and Rey, Kylo and Rey, it's it's their duality. So they did the gray thing without stating it.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's their duality that made them so powerful. And why they were, like, connected, a diadem in the Force.
I'm gonna say this. I wish that there was more of a fight between Palpatine and Rey. It was just... And sure.
Yeah, Palpatine's never the saber fight guy, except we got that with him and Yoda.
You know, I had his action figure when I was a kid with the electricity that you stick inside the hand. But yeah, man. You know what? I'm gonna grab my phone.
He's gonna grab his phone. Man, I kind of liked how the face-off between Rey and Palpatine went, because it was like a power of wills. It was Jedi past, all the Jedi past versus all the Sith past.
I did put down that I loved how in Palpatine's lair when he's talking to Rey, you have the strobes coming from. This is just sort of like a cool filmic kind of appreciation. How they had the light hitting his face from all different directions at different times, and it looked like his face was like sort of like
well, and it almost looked like it was like his younger face, his older face, but it was just kind of weird
a really cool off-putting effect.
Yeah, so cool.
And then the chanting when he's in there, and the chanting first starts. It's like my bones were chilly. It was so that whole. The set design, the pacing in there, the vibe, like everything, it felt almost like Aliens, Prometheus.
Yeah.
It felt kind of like that, which I really liked. I didn't like the Knights of Ren. I thought they were so cool, like the design with like the big butcher blade and whatnot. They looked cool. They're kind of like pointless. They were almost like Thanos' Black Order. How they were just like, just kind of there. And then when he fought them, it was just like, boom.
Well, like without a saber, they were kicking his butt.
Kind of.
And then he put it on him.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool. But it was kind of him like defeating his own. Like he created that through his fault.
But they were like faceless, you know. It wasn't like actual Knights of Ren that we got to see that were like sort of, you know, a part of him. You know, they were kind of like stormtroopers in that way.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which is fine. It's fine, but it was just something I you know, that struck me. But that last ship scene, the battle. The one thing that I will say that annoyed me was how Palpatine was electrocuting everyone, and he didn't just like, because Rey did that with one ship. How could he not do that with all of them?
Well, because he was kind of sending out a big thing. He's doing like a ton of ships at once. He's like trying to fry hundreds of ships at once. And Rey was obviously more powerful than him.
Yeah.
So like one focus target versus you're setting up a spread. You're not aiming individually. Yeah. If I'm looking at this like if I was controlling it in a video game.
Yeah.
Something that's like single target damage versus area of effect damage. Area of effect's always going to be less damage because you get the spread. So that kind of makes sense like power-wise.
Works
the way
for
we
you.
think of things in like comics and games and stuff like that.
It was funny how JJ didn't use Rose at all in this one.
She was in there enough. I mean, there was a lot of characters.
But they like really set her and John Boyega up in the last one.
Yeah, they did kind of.
They were like, something's coming in the next movie. You'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had like.
Instead, we got the Archer.
Yeah, she was cool.
She was really cool. Dug that.
Man,
that made more sense to me.
Is Lando and her getting a spinoff?
I don't know, but that was kind of creepy. When
you thought Billy D was spitting game?
Yeah, it was like, well, let's find out.
No, I mean, he's like, I got nothing to do. I got to take the Falcon out. Me and Chewie are gonna go do some stuff. Like, let's find out where you're from.
I thought her and John Boyega an intelligent match. It worked.
I don't think that was meant to be romantic or anything.
I know, but I could buy it. Like, I could buy that. Both stormtroopers both don't have an identity.
Well, and JJ kind of pulled back that, like, Finn cares for Rey. Mm-hmm. Which we assumed in the first one, and then the second one we're like, I guess not. Yeah. Rian Johnson. Man, you know what?
Well, then
you know
there's
what,
Poe,
Rian Johnson?
too.
Yeah.
Rey's got all the guys.
Well, Poe, he's doing his own thing.
I know, but like then there's like moments with her and him where it's kind of like, wait, what's going on?
I thought it was very
here?
friendshipy. It was very like Rogue One-esque. I got a very Rogue One feeling in lots of parts of this movie.
I did too.
Where they downplayed the romance because everything else is more important, which I liked. We don't need everyone needing someone all the time. Like
the dynamic between Poe, Finn, and Rey was brilliant, and it's a shame because the last one could have used that. Could have used it.
They were like separated the whole movie.
Yeah, which is dumb.
Rian Johnson, you suck. Like you don't suck. You're great. You sucked at a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, you do.
You really sucked at Star Wars, man. Come on.
Yeah, like this made me wish that we would have got it more before because
we said that before. We said that they didn't feel connected. They didn't feel like a team.
Though I didn't like the bickering in this one that much. Like there was a lot of bickering.
It was playful.
And no, there were some times where I was like, let's go. Can we just end the scene?
But you know, like Luke and Han had that dynamic a lot, especially in the first one.
But there was Leia. She was the neutralizer.
Leia.
No, she was bickering with Poe.
Yeah, a little bit. Poe had to find his way.
I like Poe. He's my favorite character.
Love Poe.
He's my favorite character in this new trilogy.
Love him.
He's great. Totally underutilized, but he is the new Han Solo.
Yes.
And they would be so smart to lean into his character in the next
Disney
movies.
Plus.
Yes.
Disney Plus.
A Disney Plus spin-off of Poe. Called Poe.
Stop it. Are we in South America? Because I can't believe you just did that.
Okay.
Better than your Popo.
The little droid, the new droid? Friend.
Oh, yeah, he was great. At first I was like, I don't need more cute things for you to sell more toys. And then I was like, yeah, I love this thing.
The moment he started running circles around BB-8, I was like, okay.
Man, and C-3PO? Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
that
man.
moment where they had to wipe his mind, that was rough to watch.
Oh, guys, what do you give it?
Okay, as of right now,
just tell me. You saw that movie. What do you give that movie?
As of right now, which will be a transient,
not through the lens of The Last Jedi,
because I need to sit with it.
What do you feel in your heart of hearts after watching that movie? You gave Jeremy Renner's music video an 8, Matthew.
Because Jeremy Renner's video was so bad.
Video.
It was so bad that I had to give it a high score.
You gave
like
Sonic the Hedgehog an 8.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I have to rate it based on what it is and what it's doing. And a 7 is a good score for me. An 8 and a 9 is preserved for pristine art. A 10 is almost unattainable.
It's a 10. It's a 10. It's a hard 10. I'm going to watch this movie in the theater every week until it's not in the theater anymore. And then when it's on Disney Plus, I'm going to die of malnutrition because I'm going to forget to feed myself. Because I'm going to be laying in bed watching this movie over and over again.
Yeah, there's a lot more things I think we could discuss about this. Maybe we should do a pickup video after the new year.
I think so. Maybe like a trilogy wrap-up.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, tell us what you think about it.
Please tell us what you think.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you guys.
Let's get into a fight in the comments section.
I don't think
Looking forward to it.
It's the best.
All right, guys.
Later.